Does that mean that everything is done via no-code, or do you have like the ability to use code within the platform as well?
Yeah, that's of course kind of a contradiction. Our positioning is no-code, and that's mainly no-code and citizen development, because we firmly believe in citizen development. But we understand and see the importance of that experienced developer having a tool where they feel at home with as well, where they don't feel restricted. So we have several escape hatches, as we call them. And there's an escape hatch in the front end, in the UI, and there's an escape hatch in the back end as well. In the front end, you can just build new components yourself as an experienced developer using the same technology that you're probably accustomed with, just building a React component somewhere and you can use it on our platform. So that really opens up, let's say, the gates to your creativity, because you can build, if you can build it manually with coding, you can build that component and use it inside Betty Blocks as well. At the other hand, the other escape hatch on the back end is a really interesting one as well. We don't allow coding, you can put some code in our platform, but we integrate very well with function platforms as well, the FPaaS platforms, like Microsoft Azure Functions, or maybe AWS Lambda. And that creates a far better architecture than including code in your system somewhere, and it restricts you as well. Because right now with our setup in the backend, you can use any language that you like. You can use maybe Go, Java, .NET or whatever, as long as your FPaaS provider enables that as well. And the nice side effect to it is that it scales like crazy as well. So that's one of the undervalued characteristics of our platform, is that these escape hatch, maybe we need to push them a little bit more, but I think those are really undervalued right now.
So that's what you already said is one of the things that you're going to focus on as well. Are you afraid that you're going to lose sight of the citizen developer? Can you do both at one time?
I think we need to do both at one time, because citizen development, at the end, the success of that lies in the hands of IT. Because if IT is not there to facilitate and to accommodate all of this, it will never be a success, because it will just be some tool that the business uses somewhere. And we don't want that. We want this to be an official thing where applications are being built for the long term. So I think it's not a matter of left or right. At the end, it's always the truth is somewhere in the middle. And that goes for this question as well. So I think it's really important to understand that we will never lose sight of citizen development, because that will be always our primary gain. But it takes steps to get there. Yeah. And for these steps, you need these escape hatches, as we just discussed, but also to make sure that IT will be in the lead of this, because otherwise you're creating just another shadow IT system somewhere, and we don't want that.
No. Do you think IT leaders are aware of what you just described?
I think a lot of them are, but not everybody knows how to act on that. And
how come?
I think we're still in the early adaptive phase of citizen development. There's not one big enterprise which is, let's say, the big example to the rest of the world where they say, well, they nailed it. Let's say in terms of agile, there's no Spotify in citizen development yet. We, of course, are busy creating that new one, and we're working closely together with our clients to achieve that. But that's not where this trend is right now. No. And that's okay.
So where do you see this trend? Is it mainly in the somewhat smaller companies?
No, I think it's not a matter of size of the company. It's more the matter of sometimes IT matureness. So how well developed is your IT and CIO strategy? How well is your current IT architecture somewhere? Do you need to fix some basic stuff first, and then take the next step? So I think it doesn't really matter how big the company is.
So matureness determines if you're ready for the implementation of a no-code platform to support your citizen developers. How do you assess if an organization is mature enough?
Yeah, so that question is a really good one, but still really hard to answer. But to answer that question a little bit more in an abstract way, of course, matureness sounds like let's say a high-level thing, but it's more about what the type of culture you have inside of an organization as well right now. Because even if you're not mature enough, maybe in terms of what I just described, you are still able to act on it and start to take maybe baby steps by implementing citizen development somewhere. So my advice would always be, and of course, being a citizen development platform, that makes sense, but it's very interesting to start a little bit sooner than you expect, if only because it takes more time than you expect to get it right as well. And that's just a real fun process where we can help you with as well. But you know how it goes with organizational changes. It is something that you really need to do careful as well. So take your time for it.
One step at a time, and trust that you're able to do it.
Yeah.